Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Paulio Jr., and as always, to the other side of me, somewhere very far away, is CJ's info. Chris, what is going on, my friend?
Yo, what's going on, guys? We got a lot to talk about today in a short period of time. We're on our seventh podcast, which is awesome. Almost here 7 days a week. We're doing one, but we're not going to do that all the time. So look forward to more next week. We'll probably take a break on the weekend, and I'll let Paul start it off.
Yeah, we're definitely we've definitely been pumping them out, big time. So before we get started into anything, we do have a little bit of limited time today. So apologies if we run through things a little bit quicker. But what I'm going to show on the screen really quick for anybody who's actually watching this is our main podcast page, which is anchor.fm/inner circle podcast. And on here, basically, are all the same episodes that you see and love on YouTube. And just to let you know, we are now available on Google Podcasts. Well, at least it's in the process. We're available on Pocket Casts, and we are available on Radio Public as well. All you have to do is search the Inner Circle, and as long as you find our names, Polio Jr. and CJ's info, you'll be perfectly fine. But altogether, we are on 5 different platforms, which is unbelievable, unbelievable. So,
So
um, yeah, getting some really, really good feedback as far as the podcasts are going and so forth. And but yeah, everything's going extremely well and in the right direction. So and and so before this, Chris and I were talking. Chris was telling me about an article he had found about somebody, or they found a diamond in a national park or something.
yeah. So the woman found a yellow diamond in Arkansas, and I'll share the screen with that.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, let's see. Second, share the screen. And what happened? All right, sharing
There
screen.
you
All
go.
right.
You're good.
Well, actually, real quick, this guy, he found a 670-year-old medieval ring. He was actually
That's it.
using a metal detector, and he found a ring that somebody else had found, but then put it in the ground.
Oh, so the original person found it and
Yeah,
then they buried it?
right. It says this guy's been metal detecting for 10 years and didn't realize the ring was anything special. And he pulled up from the ground, and that's what it looks like. It's a medieval ring from,
It's at
there's the guy right
1350.
there.
Wow.
And the guy's 81. He found the ring in, well, I guess the original guy found it in 1979.
Right,
Uh,
right.
the seal ring, and apparently it's estimated to worth $10,000 to $12,000, and it's going to be auctioned off August 27th.
That's insane. I can't
Yeah,
believe like people actually, that they buy metal detectors and
there's a Latin inscription SWNS, the
on the
highest
ring.
carat gold. Highest carat gold. It belonged to someone of importance due to its decoration and quality.
Yeah,
So
I don't think anybody in like the lower class would be holding on to something like this.
this was found in Aylesbury, England, in 1979 originally. So
That is
um,
that's crazy.
about 1,000 years old from a fierce warrior. So now that we're talking about gold, I'll close this out and go to this woman who found a 3.72 carat yellow diamond. Well, this is not gold, but this is diamond. But we're talking about precious metals here. She
Where
found this.
where are these people coming from that are finding
Yeah,
this?
I know, right? She found this in Arkansas State Park on August 21st. It was reported 27-year-old woman found a rare carat yellow diamond in the Arkansas crater, the Diamond State Park. She took a visit. What's cool is that she was actually trying to figure out how to find one on YouTube.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, she just looked around and all of a sudden she found it on the ground. So
That's insane. That's
this is
insane.
what it looks like compared to a quarter. A little less, a little smaller.
Okay. So for those of anybody who's listening, they have it next to a quarter, and they said it's basically roughly the size of a pencil eraser. Is
Right.
this is this diamond that this lady found in
So this is
Arkansas?
now the largest register in the park since 2017. Um, someone spotted a 7.44 carat brown gem before.
So so
So
people would probably go to this park to actually,
yeah,
because they're hearing stories of people continuously finding diamonds and whatnot.
right.
So
So to date, 319 diamonds have been registered at this park, in total
wow,
weighing 63.49 carats if you totaled everyone's diamonds.
Jesus Christ. Well, it's like where there's one, there's going to be others, no question,
Yeah, and
without a
I
doubt.
believe there's really a lot of precious metals still here, at least in the U.S. And here's a website I pulled up called the goldrushnuggets.com. And if you're really looking to find gold, it will tell you, according to your state, where you could find it. So we live in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
I clicked on it, and it actually tells you we live in Philly, but this talks more about it being gold being available in the Lancaster counties, um, and also in York County, and a lot of the rivers is talking about the rivers where it's located.
that's pretty
Uh,
cool. That's pretty cool.
glaciers left behind during a series of ice ages over millions of years. It originated from Quebec and Ontario, which became scattered across the eastern United States.
Mm,
So you can still find gold in the U.S. if you're looking for it. It'll tell you kind of whereabouts it is according to your state, and I don't. I guess it also tells you how you can go about finding it. What tools you need to use.
okay. So this website is called goldrushnuggets.com. So if
Correct.
for whatever reason you're interested in trying to find some precious metals, more
Yeah.
specifically gold, go buy a metal detector and look at the areas that they're telling you about, and maybe you'll get lucky.
And I actually have, because of Paul, over a course of our life, is talked about what do you call it, purchasing or investing in precious metals. If you guys can see this, but this is a 1 gram fine gold 999.
Here, take it
I
off of here, we'll
yeah, let
stop
me stop.
that. Yeah, so
Stop
stop that,
first.
and then yeah, now
So this
show
is
it.
hard to see, but if you guys can see that,
Yeah,
let me see if I do this, if that helps.
yeah, it gives you a better idea of the. If you have it next to a coin, you have a better idea of what size it is.
Yeah, this is
Uh,
really, really tiny. It's 1 gram. So let me pull up this will be a better comparison, right? So this is a 10 troy ounce silver
that's
bar.
yeah. So, but
So
yeah.
that's how tiny that little square piece is compared to that
But
chunk.
how many ounces is that piece of gold, or what's the gram on it?
The gold is 1 gram, troy
One
ounce.
gram.
Well,
Okay,
not, it wouldn't be troy ounce, 1 gram fine gold.
okay. Because it's just funny, like how, like that, a small piece of gold is actually worth more than that 10 ounce of
Yeah.
silver that you have there.
And that's all the gold I have. I mean, I have more silver, just so you guys can see. Paul has told me to invest in it in bars, which you can get for a good price for a large amount of quantity of them. These are silver bars.
Yeah,
Uh, you can get them on eBay. You can go to a coin shop. I feel like coin shops have a better deal, but eBay also. Here's a Buffalo find. So it's
yeah.
definitely worth investing in silver because it's a lot lower in price and it's easier to purchase as far as costs. I think gold is just so high for me to buy.
As far as precious metals are concerned, the buying silver, it's not a short-term investment. It's definitely more of a long-term investment because the prices of silver, the prices of precious metals in general are typically based off of how the U.S. dollar is doing. So long story short, if the dollar is starting to go into the toilet, you start seeing stocks really start to plummet. That's when you see gold and silver, start hitting like record high prices like they did in like 2008. Or like between 2008 and 2010, 2011 even. I sold a lot of silver for close to $50 an ounce, and it hadn't hit that price since the stock market crash in the 80s. That was the last time that silver had ever hit $50, and that happened, roughly, a little bit less than 10 years ago. So,
and I have this last coin I want to show. My great grandfather apparently held on to this and passed it down to my, dad and his dad, whatnot. So this is an 1885 Morgan silver dollar, they call it. And I'm going to show you here on my screen share real quick. This is just a regular 1885. It's not the ones with the, what do you call it, the location of where it's at. So it's saying right here, if you melted it, it would be $13.47. So it's mostly silver, almost 0.77. It's saying as far as silver goes.
0.77 troy ounces. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's true. Okay, so the silver content, I'm not sure how much silver is in it, but 1347 is a pretty high. And then if you have the other ones, as I was saying, the marking CC, the O, which designates which mint in other states they were at, the city, like Carson City, or O is for so obviously New Orleans, and San Francisco is S. They're worth a lot more. And obviously anything that's approved has been untouched, and that is going to be the worth the most.
Yeah, anything that has, like for instance, the face value on that is $1. That's the face ounce. That's the
right. That says $1. So, but it's worth a lot.
So anything that has a face value on it, that means it's a numismatic coin, and anything that's numismatic is always worth more than just regular silver and gold or whatever it is. So like the silver eagles, which are very popular, they have $1 US currency, but you can sell them for more. You go to a coin shop and sell them for more than what the actual silver is worth. Whereas if you just have a bar that's just silver, that's it. It doesn't have, you can't go to a store and pay with it, but you can go to a coin shop, and get it, sell it for, roughly $20. What are you pulling up now?
So just to show everybody, if people don't know this, but there are silver quarters out there. Anything that was a quarter that is dated before 1965, so 64 and back, you can find silver quarters still out there, and they're worth about $3.50. So that's just amazing alone.
Yeah, you'll definitely hear it. Like whenever I do get change from a convenience store or something like that, and they give me the change, I can feel it in my hand. Like just the actual difference.
Feels lighter, and it actually has a different sound to it.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, anything 64 and anything 64 and lower, you definitely want to hold on to them because they're definitely worth more than a quarter.
Here's a pocket watch that I have real quick, and this is actually, it's pretty cool. It's a half dollar inside of it with the time. Is that awesome?
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, going off as far as like silver, like I would never say to anyone like you're going to get rich off of precious metals. but it's an excellent alternative, or it's an excellent like emergency fund. So just like when we had the huge recession roughly 10 years ago, we saw the precious metals and commodities going through the roof. So where I had originally purchased gold at $600 an ounce, I was selling for 3 times that amount. And the same with silver. I was buying silver for I think $7, $6 an ounce at one point in time, like 2006, 2007, and then was selling it for $50 an ounce. But yeah,
It's insane.
it's crazy. It's crazy, man. But just going into, not that, I think maybe we'll save that for another time. The going into anything, what we've personally tried and what we do for investments. I think that we can save that for another day just because of the time restraints today. But
Yeah.
the one big article that that you found and that has definitely been known pretty much for a while is basically how cannabis is beneficial to cancer patients. So I have the article up here on my page, and just before we even get into this, you know, Chris and I are just we're not advocating anything as far as like obviously you always have to do your own research on
Right.
on anything. So always always do your own research when looking at these kinds of things. So, but this was the main article, and the title of the article was pancreatic cancer, cannabis flavonoid could provide solution. So the long story short here is it actually has been tested in the past that cannabis has just all the ingredients in it, everything that is inside of the cannabis plant actually can stunt the growth of cancer cells and so forth. So if you have a tumor, you can actually, in the past, obviously it's not everything. It's not everybody. It's not everything, but it has been proven to actually help a large percentage of people to stop the growth of a tumor, which I think is absolutely unbelievable. But I know, Chris, you were talking about your dad who had cancer, and you said they were giving him THC pills to help him eat because the appetite was pretty bad.
Yeah, he was going through a really bad time with kidney cancer, and they took out a tumor from his kidney, and it started to metastasize everywhere. But basically, they were giving him THC pills to get his appetite up because he just wouldn't eat because of the chemotherapy they were putting him through. And when he took the THC pills, he actually was eating more, and it also helped him to be less stressed out as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. Yeah, I still think it's this is just my personal opinion. I think that this, just in general, as far as cannabis is concerned, this is just my personal opinion. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that that it's illegal anywhere where it helps so many people with so many different issues, whether it's like anxiety, depression, helping stunt cancer cells and so forth, just, and that you can't, that there's no that there's no withdrawal, you can't OD on it. there's
Carly.
there's so many benefits to this thing, and it's like even if that you don't like the actual cannabis plant by itself, that's where they have that's why they introduced CBD,
Yeah.
and there's really not a huge difference between the biggest difference between basically THC and CBD is that CBD basically just doesn't get you high. It doesn't have any psychoactive effects at all. So, and is legal in all 50 states, where obviously straight up marijuana is, I want to say it's legal in like 6 or 7 states, and then it is only available for a prescription in other states. So, and then there's other places where it's decriminalized and that kind of stuff. But this is one, like, but just in general, like the states that have legalized marijuana, you have seen altogether a decrease in crime is probably the biggest thing, because you're kind of killing that drug war a little bit, and also more money going to the state as well. But that's just my personal opinion on it. This is, you could be doing way worse things than than pot for Christ's sake. But like growing up, like people like compared it to, I can see your chin, buddy. What are you doing?
Carly, don't have a lot of time left.
No, I know. But I was just saying, growing up, like people compared pot to like heroin. Like, and if you start doing this, if you start doing pot, then it's a gateway drug to dope, but which is crazy. So I was, check out the articles yourself. Definitely, we'll try and get them in the description, and always do your own research on these kinds of things, obviously. But yeah, so I mean, this is this is pretty much the podcast, I think, right? You got to head out in a minute.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Look forward to more, guys. Appreciate your time, and thanks, Paul, for all your information on that.
Yeah. We were trying to just do the best we could with the time we had, because we're not going to be able to do any this weekend. So hopefully we come back Monday. But if you are just listening to it, we definitely still recommend that you come to the YouTube channel, youtube.com. It's /Paul IOJR DIY, Paulio Jr. DIY. And that's where the podcasts are. Chris's channel is youtube.com/CJ's info. But I definitely recommend watching the podcast as well, so you can see the screen shares and so forth. But on that note, if you don't have anything else, my friend, I know you got to head out and meet somebody for dinner.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Keep looking forward to them. Check them all out. There's a lot of information we've been putting out there, and have a good weekend.
Cool. Yeah, exactly what Chris said. Number 7 complete. Later.
Awesome. See you, Paul.
Later.